to my quilting life. If you are new to my channel, head down there, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, get notifications when I'm live, and like and share my videos. Yes, different background. Yes, I am in bed. So I will let people join so I can tell everyone what's going on. So I'm just gonna let it sit on for a second. So for those that rewatch it, it'll probably just be kind of weird, but I don't have my other screen going. Actually, I could probably just use this one for now. I have more than one device sitting next to me. In fact, I have like 3 devices with me right now. So I'm hoping that I can do everything with 3 devices. But one takes forever to turn on. I think I saw a name pop up. It goes away right away. It doesn't stay on. I haven't turned this other tablet on in months. So bear with me, guys. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Nita. I'm actually, while here, if I can move this so I don't drop it, trying to do things at the same time as my situation here. So I'm actually hand sewing blocks. I've done quite a few now. Well, not a few, enough for my slowness. All right, as soon as this other screen turns on, then I could see the rest of all the names popping up. And say hi to everyone. So hi, all of you who are joining. And as soon as I can actually see and read, I will see and I might have to transfer and use one device for one thing and another device for the other. Let's see if that works instead. That way I can at least read comments. I see all of you guys are joining. I still see names coming in. Give me a second and I can say hi to everyone. I'm not functioning like normal, if that hasn't been noticed already. All right. All right, Tanya, Nita. Hi, guys. I already said hello. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Sue. Hi, Seneda. Hi, Linda. Hi, Ramona. Hi, Sharon. Marlene, hi. Pamela, hi. April, Betty, Sue, Vicky. Sorry, not feeling well. Hi, Tiffany. I was just thinking about you a few minutes ago. Let's go ahead and email you. See how you're doing. Are you okay? Hi, Tiffany. Hope you're okay. How are you? I missed you. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Pat. All right, guys. So I'll let a few more people join because I know that there are quite a lot of you that join me on Sundays. For now, I'll tell you that, yes, I am in bed. Yes, I am not well. Yes, I am completely out of breath. Talking makes it worse. During my sitting in bed ventures, and relaxing adventures and the inability to get up and be a normal Tiffy, normal me. I've been hand sewing on the side to make things, well, 4 patches. I've made quite a few. My goal is to make a whole entire quilt. I don't know how big it'll be. It'll probably be by the time I'm annoyed of hand piecing all this together. None of these match. It's just going to be funky. I'm just found really with taking up, time just sitting in bed, and just having something to do because I go crazy when I can't quilt and or sew. So I decided to start hand sewing a couple weeks ago, and you guys will understand why when I tell you what's wrong. It causes me to spend a lot of time in bed and off of this with you guys. I'm just showing all my blocks for now. The color kind of sucks because I only have a small light on in my room because lights are actually bothering me quite a bit. Hi, Kim. I just seen you pop on. So these are my funky blocks, and then two of them I had shown you guys when I first started hand sewing. Hi, BJ. So I'm just showing you guys my hand blocks for those that are joining that I'm hand sewing. They're just random squares. I'm not trying to do anything specific, just sewing 4 patches while I'm stuck in bed. All right, let's see if this opens yet. If not, I'll just keep swapping back and forth on my screens. This keeps saying no internet connection, so I have a feeling that this is not working. It must not like me today, my little tablet. Oh, okay, there we go. Let's see, it's trying to obtain. Hi, June. Hi, Janet. Hi, Gwen. Hi, everybody. All right, so there's quite a few of you here, so I get to tell you guys what's going on. So back in February, remember I got the MS Hug? Well, the MS Hug decided to reveal, okay, I felt really, really, really bad. And if you guys don't know what the MS Hug is, it is like a severe bear hug to the body around the chest. For those of you with MS and people that you know with MS, every once in a while, it's very random that it happens, but it does happen. Sometimes it kind of keeps happening. It's like just a really tight hug pressure around the chest. And it's just, sometimes it's a sign that my body is going into an episode, and or sometimes it's just a random sporadic thing. It only lasts a few days. This recent one that I had back in February seemed to last quite some time. It started in January, actually the end of January, but in February is when I went and did something about it. No, other screen's not going to start. So I had went to on February 5th, and I know these dates only because it all just recently happened. On February 5th, I was hurting so bad, guys. I was really like horrible. The MS Hug is nothing to mess with. It's like, it's seriously like a bear hug. It's like somebody sitting on my chest, which is what it feels like now, but I don't have the hug. It causes a strange, like when you breathe in, it feels like the chest won't expand because the chest is already compressed. All it is the nerves, and I forgot to turn that down too. The nerves in the body when you have MS, they are telling that they're messed up, they're discombobulated, you know, so they're telling parts of the body do this, do that, and it's just like a bunch of sensations all come together at once, and it feels like a hug. That's why they call it MS Hug. It's just a bunch of compression pressure. So when you breathe in and it tries to push it out, you don't fully get that full breath because it's so, I mean, you have to like hold your chest. You're like, and it's just, it hurts. It's very painful. Hi, Faith. So on the 5th of February, I went into the hospital, and I was thinking, well, you know, it's just the hug, but just in case, we'll see what's going on. And they had diagnosed me with bronchitis because remember, I was sick all of January also. And kind of at the same time, it was hard to cough while having the MS Hug. So they diagnosed me with bronchitis. Nothing I'm not used to. I've had bronchitis a bazillion times. I was actually born with bronchitis. So I've had bronchitis all my life. I've had asthma all my life. I've had all sorts of issues with my lungs and breathing, you know, with wheezing and stuff from having asthma and bronchitis problems all my life. So it's nothing new. So they gave me medicine and sent me home. Well, I was still sick in the middle of February from the 5th. And my regular doctor decided, well, why don't we try this, and that medicine? She put me on a tier of medicine because she's like thinking, this is not presentation of bronchitis. Maybe the ER was just trying to push you out real quick and get you out of there, because that's what the ER does. They're not really, I mean, unless you're super severely bleeding, gushing blood from somewhere on your body, they don't really do much. Not around here, at least, because it's a small hospital. So my regular doctor gave me a plethora of medications. And I started all those meds. It was like antibacterials, antifungals, anti this, anti that, but not like big, super killer medicine type stuff, just something to, I guess, take the edge off and hope that it eases out my body, because she wasn't sure where I stood with what was wrong. Well, on the 20th, I had still hurt. My chest was killing me, but it wasn't the hug. The hug had already passed by then. Well, February 20th, I went to urgent care because I was like, the hospital sucks. Urgent care will probably get me in quicker, which they did. And I made sure before going that they took x-rays, because I felt like when I had bronchitis and the MS hug at the same time, still having sensations of the MS hug made me feel like I broke a rib, or dislocated a rib, and or fractured a rib, because I've broke 3 ribs before when I was younger. So I know what broken ribs feel like. Well, I wanted to make sure none of that happened, because during the MS hug, if you cough, again, you're being compressed. When you cough, it's pushing it out. It feels, different. And you can dislocate and fracture ribs with the coughing. It's the same with pneumonia. Anybody with pneumonia, if you've ever had pneumonia in your life, you can actually fracture, dislocate ribs from coughing, having pneumonia, which really sucks. So I went into urgent care on the 20th, and I found out that I had dislocated ribs, but I had nothing else wrong. They said everything looked good, but in actuality, it didn't. For 5 days after the 20th, I got a phone call a day. My phone, I don't know why it happens, and some of you probably had this happen to you before. My phone does not like to ring. It doesn't like to tell me it has missed phone calls, or my voicemail-y thing doesn't work. Sorry, I'm having a hard time talking. My voicemail-y thing sometimes doesn't want to work, so I don't get even a notice saying I have voicemail. So once a day, at the end of every day, I call my own phone number and enter the stupid code so that I can listen to my voicemails. So for 5 days straight, I didn't get nothing, no voicemails, no nothing. I probably wasn't really checking every day, but there was nothing there when I did. Well, on the 5th day, I had like 16 voicemails. Seriously, I had a lot of voicemails. 5 of which was 1 a day from the urgent care. Why? Let's just say I wasn't ready for that next part, and I'm gonna clear out this screen so I can show you why. Let me go to another screen. I went to urgent care, and they gave me a piece of paper because of what they told me with everything. It said, you need to get to your doctor as soon as possible. You need a CT scan. And they did not say exactly why. They just said I had a nodule in the lower left of my lung, a 2.4 centimeter nodule, so just over an inch size lump in my lung. Yeah, so this is what that looks like, and I'll show you a picture. See that big, huge thing on the screen right here next to my heart? That is this big, huge nodule inside my lung. That is my heart. That's my left lung. That is the nodule right there. So I had this CT scan really soon after. I went to my doctor's, and he says he doesn't think it's anything, but we're going to look into it. I'm too young for cancer. I'm too young for a lot of things. And I'm too young. I'm too young. I don't smoke a lot. I do smoke, but I'm not a heavy smoker. I'm a very light smoker, um, about 10 cigarettes a day, sometimes less, sometimes more, depends on how I feel. I do have family history of lung cancer, though. That is what my dad's mom died from. So, I mean, there is history in the family. I don't have COPD. I don't have emphysema. I don't have any of those kind of things. So he really was curious as to what this could be. So the results came back in on the CT scan, and they said it's not ground glass looking, it's not spiculated, which is like terms they use for cancer diagnoses, and you could tell what cancer is right away on most scans. But there are times in people my age that they cannot tell what something in the lung is. It could be a million different things. There are, trust me, guys, Google it. There are so many things that could grow in the lungs. You'd be so surprised. So he says, I think it's a couple things. Let me give you a couple blood tests, and we are going to see, what could possibly be. And I had blood tests. A lot of them were negative. My white blood cell count is extremely high. I have my HCT or CHT, whatever. There's another red blood cell thing that flows through the body. It's not the exact red blood cells, but it's another one. It's the one that helps fight off infections as well as the white blood cells. That was extremely high as well. So I had all those blood tests done, and most were negative except for some things being high, but he still didn't trust this, CT scan. He says, we need you to have a lung biopsy. Has anybody ever Googled what a lung biopsy is? They're not, it's different ways that they can do it. They can do it thoratically through, cutting you open and take a piece out, blah, blah, blah. They can do a bronchoscopy where they go in directly into the lung and then cut pieces out. And or they can go subcutaneously, which is a very, really long needle. So they decided to do the subcutaneous. It's a really long needle through the front of my chest. And turns out the special surgery radiology guy could not go through the front of my chest because it's too close to my heart, the nodule. So they had to go through my back. So oh my God, now I don't even remember what exact day it was, that one. It just happened on the 7th, April 7th. So I just had this done. So this is why, you guys, this is why I wasn't here not this week, but the last week when I said I wasn't going to be here for a week. That is because I needed to stay in bed and relax and get better because I had a big long needle stuck in my back. And during this procedure, they take samples of the nodule that's in my chest. The nodule, here's a picture of me at the hospital getting this biopsy done. Yes, I was able to take my phone, and the doctor would not let me record it. I said, what if it's for educational purposes? I want to record it. He said, no, you can't do that. So I couldn't record it. But so they took the samples of it, and during that, he's like, breathe, don't breathe, breathe, don't breathe, because when they finally were finished, I leaked a little pocket of air out of the back of my chest because it can cause a pleural effusion, which is, I guess, where your lung fills up with air or decreases of air, whatever. I don't know all the exact whatever. But when your lung collapses, my lung took the chance of collapsing. Well, I had a little bit of air leakage, but my lung did not collapse. Thank God, because that would have been horrible. I would have had to have a chest tube put in and blah, blah, blah to reinflate my lung. Anywho, so they went in from here. Here's a picture of that, left, right, and there is my bigger little feller right there. Yes, pulmonary embolism. That was the word for it. The other one was from this thing popping in my lung, causing a pleural effusion. Thank you. I knew it was something. It was on the edge of my tongue. Um, since in 2 weeks, this wonderful little feller in my lungs, my little alien is what I'm calling it, has grown 2 more millimeters. So it's really fast growing. And if I zoom in, you can see it really looks crazy. And that line right there that you see in it right now is from the needle just going in. That's the after scan inside my lung. Anyways, so I had to wait after that test was done. I was in the hospital all day long, all by myself, thanks to the coronavirus. Nobody is allowed in hospitals, just patients these days. So I had to sit at the hospital all day by myself, where I did sew a couple 4 patches, and the nurses were like, "Oh, that's so cool that you're doing that. I've never seen anyone sit here and hand sew before." I was like, I needed something to do while I was sitting here. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Well, it takes 3 to 5 days for pathology to have any kind of results for anything. In between then, my doctor was 100% sure he thinks what it is, because he saw cases of it all the time when he was working down in Phoenix and in Las Vegas as a what was it called? The doctors that for emergency rooms that are trauma centers. He saw it a lot in trauma center emergency care. So he's used to seeing this. Anyway, so 3 to 5 days go by, and we're thinking, okay, well, if it's cancer, this is what we'll do with my life. If it's this is what we'll do. If it's that, I mean, I had all these different things online that it says, and my doctor actually encourages Googling. He says he wants you to learn about everything, because if this turns out to be one thing or another, at least you already know the information and you're ready for anything. So obviously, what do you think I did? I'm a Googleaholic, so I spent a lot of time on Google. Scott, not so much. He doesn't really he just likes to learn from the doctor. It's his way. Me, I'm a visual learner. I learn when I'm watching videos, and I learn when I'm reading about it. So I spent a lot of time on Google's, and it took longer than 5 days. So just this last Tuesday, this is now Sunday, Tuesday of this week, no doctor's appointments are allowed, only over the phone or in a video chat like this. So I couldn't go to the doctor's, so I had to wait. 2 days go by because the doctor tried. The first day he didn't have my records from the hospital, so I had to wait till the next day. And finally, the doctor got a hold of me, and we had a long talk, because I have, I don't know how to pronounce this word. It's coxy something blah blah blah. In other terms, it's called valley fever. It's called valley fever is what I have. Coccidiomycosis. See, I cannot pronounce it, so I never became a doctor. It's a valley fever, and it used to be called San Joaquin Valley fever. It is a fungus, a mold spore fungus that is in the dirt or soil of Southern California, Southern Arizona, parts of New Mexico and Southern Texas, and in parts of South America and Mexico. It is a fungi that grows, and it's usually gets bursted out of the ground for people to breathe during earthquakes, farming areas, lots of agricultural areas. This is more common found, and or construction zones. And so yeah, Janet knows. And yeah, so this is a pretty it can actually cause lots and lots of bad things. So far it's making me struggle to breathe. That's why I haven't been making videos. Every time I'm up, it's like a hassle breathing. It is, my body is fighting with this little nodule that's in my lung that's taking over my lung because it's growing still in my lung. So it is called, for those that want to look up, I'll post a link to it in the group later. It is called valley fever. I'm just going to open the CDC website because now I have to be registered with the CDC yet again because I have had Lyme disease. And so I've been registered with the CDC for that, and Epstein-Barr virus. I think I was registered with the CDC for Epstein-Barr virus, but I don't remember. So I've had lots of issues. So this is a fungal disease that I have, and it's wreaking havoc inside my body. So much wreaking havoc. There's only 20,000 cases a year registered with the CDC. They think there's more total, but there's the CDC only has about 20,000 cases registered each year. So yeah, I cannot pronounce it. It is an infection of the fungus, whatever, coccidioides. I freaking can't understand that. Southwestern United States, parts of Mexico, South Central America. The fungus was also found in South Central Washington. People get the valley fever by breathing in the microscopic fungal spores from the air. Although most people who breathe in the spores do not get sick. I just seem to be the kind of person that gets sick. Go figure. Let's see. Usually people get sick or better who get sick get better on their own. I have not. This has been in my system. Actually, they're thinking probably about a year because, yeah, they're thinking that I've had it for about a year, that this has been growing in my lungs. In lungs, singular lung. I don't have multiple things growing, just one. It can go away with antifungal medication, but some people are on antifungal medication for the rest of their lives because some people, their bodies don't fight, the medicine doesn't fight with it or whatever, it doesn't help push it away. And those are people like me who have multiple sclerosis and or other underlying medical conditions that cannot help the body push these spores away or whatever. Anyways, I'll just tell you the symptoms that they say online. Fatigue, tiredness, cough, fever, shortness of breath, headache, night sweats, muscle aches, joint pain, and rash. I do not have a rash, and the doctor wants me to make sure that I don't show up with it because this is what it would look like if I get it. Yeah, that's pretty gross. This isn't a
Did you do
medical
some hand
channel.
sewing?
No, not yet.
Are you gonna?
In rare
Gonna show them
cases,
how to hand sew?
it enters the skin through breaks on the skin and stuff. No, I do not. Please don't. Sometimes it says it appears 1 to 3 weeks. I never felt sick, so I don't know, but I probably had it for a really long time, I think. Some patients, it says longer than this. It can also spread to your brain. It can spread to your spinal fluid, causing bacterial meningitis.
People
I'm not
out.
freaking them out. I'm telling them, and it spreads to the central nervous system. It spreads to skin, bones, joints. I'm just reading them what the website says, and those are really loud. They crackle loud on the
Okay, let's talk about
thing.
What the thing is about.
So yeah, this is what I have. I have valley fever, and now I am stuck in bed because I feel like crap. I'm struggling to breathe like really bad. I'm having a hard time getting up, moving around, doing anything. And okay, so I'm opened up the thing. Will the nodule get removed? The doctor said as soon as I see that, I have to go to an infectious disease specialist who, surprisingly, we do not have one in town. Oh wait, that's not surprising. We don't have one in town. The guy comes in from Phoenix every week on Tuesdays, so I don't get to go until the 28th. And then I will talk with them about it. My doctor told me that in cases like mine where it's still growing, if the medication does not work, I will have to have the lower part of my lung removed. So I'm gonna go scroll up now. I saw that white when I turned this on. Let's see where I am. Sorry, prayers. I knew something was up. A lot of people have been messaging me knowing that something was up. I have been blaming 90% of all of this on MS. I know it's wrong for me to lie to you guys, but I had no answers. So it's hard to give you guys the truth because I didn't know it. So I just kind of been blaming everything on MS problems, which I suffer from anyway. So, you know, let's see. How scary. How are your titer numbers? I have no idea what that is. Is it teeter numbers? Because that's what my doctor, I think, is what you're trying to say. I don't know all the numbers offhand. Scott has all my paperwork, and I don't know how to even distinguish half of that. It's all just whatever. A lot of nurses in here. Coochie medicine to get rid of it. My godfather had valley fever, and my mother will share crapper at the time. Tuberculosis. That's what he tested me for too. I don't have TB. I was tested for a bunch of stuff. It was all negative. It's not in my blood either. They gave me blood tests for valley fever. It's not in my blood. It's only in my lung. So late in his life. My father-in-law spent a lot of time in Golden Valley. Prayers, late 90s. I didn't think a person ever got rid of it. No, most people have it for life, or your body builds an immunity to it, as so I've read. Trust me, I've been doing lots of reading. The rash sucks. My hubby had the rash. Yeah, I haven't had no rash. My doctor told me what to look out for. What is Scott doing? Scott was at the grocery store. He went and got junk food. Don't ask me why. He thought I would like. He keeps asking me all week if I want something. I'm like, I'm not hungry. I haven't been hungry. I've been losing weight. Like I have any weight to lose. As of this morning, I was 115. So which is way under it's 5 pounds under what I'm supposed to stay at 120 because of my belly issues. Because remember, I have belly issues too, and I have a hard time keeping up my weight.
You want to do some Q&A?
My father had his lower lung removed. Because how are your children and Scott doing with this? They lots of praying. That's all they really can do. That it go away.
I don't know.
No.
Hi, talk some quilting. It's so Sunday. Got to talk quilting.
Been so ill so long. Prayers. Good thumbs up. So yeah, that is what has been going on. I'm not a medical expert. It happens to people, like I said, earthquake areas, farming areas, construction areas. Remember when I was on my shots for my MS, I was giving myself shots. I was on that for a while, and we went to California during that time, and we passed through lots of construction areas because freeways were going in. So I'm kind of assuming that's probably when it said, probably I got it because from whom and everyone I've talked to, nobody in my specific town has had it. So or gets it or whatever. So I don't know, because I don't know everybody personally. So I don't know who, what, when, where, why, or how to ask. But my doctor doesn't see it here. He saw it in places like Phoenix and in Vegas. So it's when the valley fever disseminates through the body. It gets really bad. It's not fun. Once you have it, you always have it. Yeah, that's the words. Exactly. There's lots of videos and stuff about it out there. It was kind of scary though, everybody in the family, because I have cancer in my family. That was, everybody's first thought. So that was a good thing that it wasn't cancer. But yeah, there's so many things that it could have been, and we're glad that it's not, that it is valley fever, and I'm probably gonna get better. Not right away. I can't start any medicine right away. I do know someone with it, but she's from California. Remember I told you guys a while back about my neighbor. She was in Acoma. She's the one that I made the big huge quilt for. the Mariner's Compass or Mariner Star for some people know it's Mariner Star. That she has valley fever for life too. She got it while she was in a coma, transported from one place to another. So yeah, that's it happens by breathing in a spore, and bam, this is it. So that's what I thought. I had a friend who had it years ago, and it's seen all around the country, but it's from people who have traveled to and or visit places where it is, because it's not in the fungal spores are not in the rest of the United States, just the southern western areas. So I'm not mixing the cigarettes. Trust me, I've thought about that. Quitting smoking and stress of quitting smoking would probably just make my problems worse right now. My doctor already told me originally when we thought it was cancer, when it, the possibility of cancer came up, that not to quit smoking suddenly or in a rush, because it could actually make things worse. So I didn't quit smoking right away, but I don't smoke a lot. So you guys, I've got this under control. I'm in bed a lot, a lot. So totally scary. Been there, done that with the hubby. Yeah. So some of you know what it's like and have been there and know people around you. So this is why I'm not around much and haven't been around much, because I'm fighting my own little struggling to breathe and everything. And all this has all been happening before diagnosis, like the issues breathing and the constantly being sick and having, bronchitis and flu and all these wonderful diagnoses. I've been having those, and the doctor said that this is most likely, all these reasons why is most likely all this time I've been sick is most likely. This is why. So it's affecting me. It's the struggling to breathe, and I hide it during videos. I was hiding it. I'm not going to hide it no more. I was blaming it on bronchitis, lingering bronchitis. Sorry guys, but I wasn't like wanting to scare anyone right away when I don't know. It's hard to tell somebody something when I don't know. So that's why I didn't tell you guys. Yes, at least I have answers. So I know quitting is hard. Yes, it's going to be. So, yep, I have answers. That's all that matters. Again, for those just joining, I was diagnosed with valley fever. And if you don't know what that is, it's a sickness, a fungus. Oh my goodness, come on. And I'll show this again, just because for those of you that just joining, that is what we're talking about. Is, oops, I can't hold this upright because I put the phone so far away. And it's just growing away. It's having fun in my lung. It's my little alien. So that's what I'm dealing with. And again, I'll post links for those that have never heard of it in the Facebook group later, so that you guys can at least know and understand what it is. I'm completely 100% sitting here dumbfounded. Just can't believe it. Yeah, I'm a very good liar. Well, I know some of you knew that some stuff was wrong with me, because the ones that knew are the ones that have been messaging me and emailing me and messaging me and emailing me. So, but I have been blaming it on other things. I mean, I do have a lot of MS symptoms going on right now with the numbness and tingling throughout my whole entire body, but that is because I think it's just worsening because I can't get out of bed like I would like. I mean, I can get up and move around, obviously. I'm a little bit slower. I get winded so fast, like here to the kitchen, and I'm out of breath. I stop for a second. I wait for my body to take a breath, which is hard because I can't take a deep breath. It absolutely hurts. I won't be able to, actually. So Faith just said it's a good thing you didn't start MS treatment. I won't be able to go on MS treatment. Unfortunately, fungicide medicine that has to be prescribed by oh my God, what is the word again? I just said it too. The doctor, the specialist that I have to go to is the only one allowed to give me the fungal medicine. So if I go on that, what's going to happen is if I'm on an MS treatment, the fungal medicine is not going to work properly because an MS medicine lowers and weakens the immune system or the immune response so that I don't get sick or I do not relapse and or so on and so forth with MS. The fungal medicine, what's going to happen is that it's going to try to up my immune system so that my body can get rid of this in my lung or shrink it and or whatever it needs to do to make it go away. So if I have to be on that for life, if it doesn't work in the 4 to 6 months that they're going to put me on it, if it doesn't work and or if I get my lung removed, it's not going to even matter, but I'll still have to be on it for life to keep it from going through my whole body. Then I will never be able to be on MS medicine because my MS medicine will lower my immune response when the fungal medicine is going to up my immune response so that my body becomes immune to having it in my body. So yeah, that's going to be a screwed up situation in the future because my MS has only progressed worse and worse over the years. So yeah, that's something I'm going to definitely have to think about. It's going to make things infectious disease. Thank you. I can't get words out because it's an MS thing. So it's late, we'll watch the replay. Yeah, Linda, we're just talking because I'm sick. I figured I'd tell everyone why I haven't been around. I knew I needed to do so Sunday, and I felt bad that I hadn't been on all week. And last Sunday, I said, well, that I probably would try my best to be on, and there was no trying. I just couldn't do it. I just, a lot of the times I look flush, pale, like because I can't catch my breath. So it's heck if you don't have heck you don't. Yeah, and the weird thing is I've had Lyme disease, and I've had the Epstein-Barr virus. I have MS. And I've had a plethora of other problems. I'm my own medical anomaly. So many things, and now valley fever. So I seem to catch rare stuff quite easily. So which kind of sucks, but I'm used to it. I'm pretty strong, you guys. Like super strong. I push through 100%. So anyway, would it help if you had oxygen? I don't know. I won't know nothing, no more than you guys know now that I've told you. I won't know nothing more until after the 28th when I go to the specialist. Unfortunately, I miss you, but understand. Well, I'm glad that everybody understands. I mean, I was really feeling like my channel was going to go to shit. I really did. My numbers are all down, like, because there's nothing fresh to watch. So if you guys feel like you miss me, just make sure you watch at least, we're catching everyone else's videos. Just rewatch something you haven't caught before, like you missed a So Sunday months and months ago. Just go back and watch it, just because. So you can rest and let them help you and your family. No shame in that game. Scott seems to help pretty good, and CJ being here, and Maxine's been here a lot, so. I have, unless my severe MS attack, God forbid it does happen, where I can't walk again while having this problem, that'll kind of suck. But other than that, I'm fighting it, and I'm just keeping track, making sure I don't have a rash. I'm trying not to lose weight, but weight loss is happening, and tiredness and the constant fatigue, worse than MS fatigue. It really is. Like, I thought that it would be easier to deal with because I deal with fatigue on a daily basis, but I also have insomnia. There is no insomnia lately. I've actually been sleeping at night almost every night. I fall asleep. I'm up till like 1 or 2 in the morning, but I'll sleep until 10 or 12 the next day. That's how much tiredness and fatigue is involved. And I think that's why I have a lot more numbness and tingling throughout my body, is because I'm spending a lot more hours in bed. So, which kind of sucks. That one we are unsure of because of the whole being home thing. It hopefully will be. Scott's been talking with the nurse lady every day, so we're hoping that I'll be able to just go in because it's a scheduled appointment, and it is. I'm not like I'm a new patient for him because this is a new doctor. I've never seen this person before, so I am on Insure. I take Insure anyway. I've been on Insure for years. I saw you on Marine Quilter today. What a guy. I will have to get used to him. I've been watching the Bargello videos, trying to follow and get up the courage to start cutting, looking for the right jelly rolls to use. Bargellos are fun, lots of fun. I never even finished mine. It's the way it was when you saw it in the video, no borders. I was thinking about borders for it, but I never got to it. So yeah, I'm trying to take care of myself. I used to have my little oxygen meter thing that I had, my pulse ox, it broke. I have to get a new one. So, and my insurance don't cover them anymore, so we have to get out of our own pocket for one, so that they can keep track of it. Another thing that's been bad is night sweats. Oh my goodness. I thought my whole menopause thing was over after my hysterectomy. I went through menopause for like 3-4 years, and yeah, that's night sweats with this is not anything like menopause sweats, let me tell you. It's so weird I could talk with you guys about this because you guys are all older and you probably already know what menopause is and already know what sweating is like and hot flashes, because I get that. It sucks. Goddaughter knows since it's me, either MS about 18 and weighs 100 pounds. Doctors are going to put feeding tube in because she doesn't eat. Breaks my heart. Please eat. I do eat. I just ate right now, just from bed. That's all. And you would think that eating from bed would help me gain some weight, but no, it doesn't. It's just whatever's wrong with me because I can't, like, because I'm so out of breath. It sucks. And they're done that. So yeah, I'm hoping that you guys stay watching my videos, even though I'm not making any. I was thinking at least in the next couple days, I'll make another 25 patch video because that one doesn't require a lot of energy to make. So I could make and post one because I could just make it and I sit to do the whole thing. You guys seen how I do my 25 patch box. So I sit to do the whole thing and then I can edit it from bed and post it from bed because that doesn't need me to get up and do anything. At least one of us is sleeping. Yeah, that's one thing I haven't had a problem with lately. It's kind of a blessing almost because I don't sleep. I have severe insomnia, so it's like my body is like resting finally. But they did tell me to rest as often and as much as I can. So why should I say bye by messaging all the time? Scott can keep us up to date. Oh, he's not much of keeping people up to date on things. Yes, my body is working hard to breathe. We need you around a very long time. Much to learn. Yes. I'm wanting to go back and watch some of the videos. Well, while I'm here, I'm going to stick this aside and I'm going to show you guys how I hand sew a 4-patch. I'm wondering if I'm going to be able to have good enough lighting for you guys to see this. I'm using white thread on bunches of different fabrics, colors, hoping that this stays. So I was going to choose some. I'm going to just tell CJ. CJ, can you do me a favor? Please. Hello? Can you turn my light on, please, so I can do some hand sewing real quick? I'm going to show you guys what I have learned in person, well, in video, real quick. I do need to adjust my body, though, to do this correctly. So I'm moving all my stuff to my side table. We're in my bedroom, by the way. So if you see writing on the wall, it's because this is for those of you who are new. This is where my husband proposed, was here in the bedroom. When it was empty, he had spray painted "Marry Me" on the wall, and this is how we got engaged. So for those that are new to my channel and don't know the story of how my husband and I got engaged, this is how is in this room with the "Marry Me," which is probably backwards on camera, huh? I think the camera is backwards and it's showing it backwards. All right, so I'm gonna turn this camera facing down in a second. Let me choose 4 blocks. And you're gonna probably say I'm doing this wrong. For all of you guys that hand sew and know what you're doing, you're probably gonna be like, Tiffany, you're doing that wrong. But guess what? I'm just doing what I've taught myself because I'm not really too good at this yet. And it's working for me so far. So that is what I'm gonna do, is what I have learned so far. I'm just trying to choose out 4 fabrics that doesn't really matter if they look good together or not, but I'm kind of trying to have some sort of whatever, I guess, to this, where they look kind of good, I guess. That's the word for it. So that way you guys can at least see what I've taught myself to do so far. Okay, so there's 4. Oh, it's right. Okay, good. I didn't know. And then like over, let me turn the camera around. That is my, I hung my quilt up and that whole cupboard is plumb full of quilts, and outside of it's quilts and everywhere else is quilts. I'm overflowing in quilts here in my room. All right, so I'm gonna tip the camera down now. I know it's a weird angle and we're in my bed, but this is what I've myself. So I have 4 fabrics here. I'm gonna put 2 together. And I've actually only been pinning to put the 4 patch together. So I'm just gonna take some thread and my wonderful snips. I know this is a totally weird angle for you guys to be watching me. Thread this needle. Now, I know some of you have told me that single thread is how these blocks should be hand sewed, but I have been doubling thread because when I single thread it, it seems like the gaps are easier to pull apart. I don't know how to explain one. When I do this with the block and like try to pull on it, the single threads seem to be like they pull apart more. So I have been double stitching, like with double thread. I think it works easier for me. There's my stitches. It's probably not supposed to be done that way, but that is how I am doing it. And I just put a knot here at the end, like so. So I have a knot. And I'm going to put this over here so I could see comments still. And I start right here in the top, trying to see if you guys can even see what I'm doing. This is how I've been doing it. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I put my needle in 1/4 inch away from the edge. Oops. I knew that was going to go right through. And I have not been using any kind of, what is it called? Like a thimble or anything. I'm just kind of, I'm not really using my hands for that. My fingers like that. That would need a thimble. Come on. This is the hard part, getting this to go on the first try. And there, I made myself a knot on the end. And then, let's see. Let's see if I can't tip this down even more. So here is my line. And I just go in like this. This is how I'm doing it. Oops. I probably should use a smaller needle, but my hands can't handle a smaller needle. I already went through this conversation with somebody else that hand sews. And I'm just, see, going in and out like this. And just rocking it, I guess. And then when I get too far, I pull it through that. So you see it, probably see it on this side better, but I'm not going that way. Ah, I decided to go through this side. Good night, April. And I was taught to double thread my grandma. Okay, yeah, see, somebody told me I should single thread, and some people told me double, and some people, you know, everyone says something different. So I just been double threading.
Are you doing quilty stuff now? Need me help?
No, I'm just hand sewing.
You doing Q&A or
So-
anything?
No. You can go through and read comments if they come through. So I'm
Okay.
just rocking it, and I don't really even need, can you see how that needle goes in? I really don't need a thimble because it's not really touching my thumb.
They say your nails are pretty.
Oh, I had to, because you can't go to salons right now. So I filed them all down myself and then painted them. I've been keeping them myself because or else they get too long. My nails tend to grow really fast. So I just go in where it goes through the back, and I kind of back the needle up, and I just use my thumb to push on the fabric. Honestly, I don't actually need, like I said, I don't need a thimble for this.
Sharon Thompson said she was taught to use double thread by her grandmother and her mother.
Yeah, I read that comment.
Oh, okay. So then you're pretty much caught up. I was taught that way in very few stitches. Take a back stitch in
Yep.
case part of it should come apart. Kim says you're doing it right.
And I just do this. This is what I'm doing, guys. So I've been sitting in bed doing this.
Kev Mirth says
So
they're very pretty
slow.
and your hands are pretty.
My hands itch like you would not believe right now. And if I don't think I can pull the needle back, then
Tiff, I was taught to make another knot in the middle again. That way if a seam comes apart, you don't lose the entire seam. Another person says one back stitch every third stitch.
I just been doing it like this. It's been working so far. So now I'm at this end. And then I have been just sticking my needle in at the end.
Do you need a little thimble so you don't poke your fingers?
No, I've not been poking my fingers. And then I just tie it off. And then start over with a new piece of thread on the next one.
Sue says I learned the hard way to take
So-
those knots every once in a while.
This is just me experimenting, and then I just take and finger press it to one side like this. And it seems to be, I'm pulling really good, and it's on there. So then I get my next one ready, grab some more thread. I always have been, since I started doing this, I'll put it right here so you can see. I measure how much I need by going across the block twice.
Hi Vicky, hi everyone.
So
BJ's very first quilt was made entirely by hand, including the quilting.
that's what this is. This is a 100% all by hand quilt that I'm making. I'm going to be even quilting it by hand. This is, I don't know how big it's going to
Terry says
be.
it looks great.
Maybe a baby size. I'm not sure, but I've had a lot of time in bed lately, so this is what I decided to start
Oh,
doing
we have to
while
look
in bed.
Up that cardboard later for the neighbor's fabric. I just thought of it. Quilty stuff. Okay.
Okay.
On Joanne's site. I took a class at a local quilt shop from an adorable little lady named Mildred.
That's an old name. I haven't heard that name since my grandma had friends. All right, so now I'm on a dark.
Hi everyone. Hi. You don't have to
Scott's
say hi
saying hi.
individually. Just
I'm not going
hi.
to turn the camera up because he's topless, even though it's kind of weird me being in bed anyway.
Okay. I had a shirt on when I came back from the grocery store. It's hot out there.
Yeah.
Our AC's on
All right, so I just
in the
been
house.
making a knot right here at the end after making that knot in the thread. Come on. And I just pull it all the way down to where it's nice and tight. And then I just go back to it again. But I won't be able to, a lot of people now have told me smaller needle, but I can't do smaller needle because my hands, they shiver so much. So I'm just being super cautious with the bigger needle.
Sue says she wishes they had warm weather here. Here it's pretty much warm weather all year long.
Yeah.
Our summer is death heat.
It's like 82 or 84 out right now. Well, earlier. It's
Not
not,
in the sun,
not
it's
right
hot.
now. So for those of you who are interested in hand sewing, I would say just break out some needle and thread and some fabric pieces and just
Oh, Vicky says it's 28 there.
have fun with it. Send me some. I need some cool air. I'm
You couldn't handle
toasty.
20.
I'm
That's too
not
low
20,
for you.
but I need some cool air. I've been toasty hot because of this whole. I feel like I'm running a fever today, like really bad.
No fine.
I feel like it though inside my body.
Robin says hi to you.
Hi, Robin. So this is what I'm doing since I'm in bed. I just sit and watch TV while doing this. I didn't realize it's actually kind of relaxing. It does get tedious though after a while, so I can only make 1 or 2 blocks at a time because my hands don't like me doing it. But I'm learning and I'm enjoying something different and new.
They say you should always change clothes after being out in public because of the virus. So see, me
What?
taking my clothes off is no big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine hand sewing like that, but making baby doll clothes. Well, my
Oh,
mom
I
did
would.
a baby quilt by hand.
This will probably be a baby quilt size when I'm done with it. And I'll probably keep it only because I made it by hand. So if my kids ever have a kid, this will be what they get gifted as a hand sewn quilt from me, because this will be my first time doing this ever.
You say hand sewing is very relaxing. Sue says her mom told her to sew with what works for you. Don't worry about the needle size.
See, because I drop the needle quite often. So,
Robin learned by hand stitching to quilt.
all right. So then I
Hand
finger
piece
press
using
this
quilting
piece
thread. It
like
works
that.
great.
I just use my thumb. And now I'm going to put the 2 of these together. Oh, that's opposite of what I've done. So same thing as if you were doing it regular. You're going to nest these seams, except with hand sewing. For those that are new to this, I throw a pin right here in the seam, and I'll show you why.
You want to go back now?
Because it's harder to hold.
Okay.
I just hold, keep it here. I love you too. This here, and then I throw a second pin right here in this end, and just let those sit there. But this is why I've been pinning it, because it helps hold. Look at those points. I didn't at first think that my points would be so perfect, but they are with these blocks, because I've been using pins. Like when I sew on a machine, I don't have a hard time lining them up. By hand sewing, I have a hard time lining it up. So as you can see, my pins are working for me, and I need to lower this one just a little. There we go. So now I need to pull enough thread for this one. And I have so much thread all over my bed now. And I just make sure it's enough for this, and this is. So this is what I've been up to, and I'll finish this whole block while we're here, so that it's a normal, regular sew Sunday, except for the explanation at first. You know, I think I the first couple days after I found out what this is, I was like, you know, it's always me. Why do I catch everything? That's what I've been thinking the last couple days, is like, how many more things am I going to catch in my lifetime? Because I have had so many problems already. How many more medical problems? So I actually looked up, there are some clinical trials right now for valley fever, and I've looked it up. I cannot find anybody with multiple sclerosis and valley fever. So I was thinking of signing up for clinical trial, but I'm going to talk to the doctor about it on the 28th first, because if anything, I'll just get the clinical trial, which will probably, everything will be free, all my visits and stuff with the doctors, and however the trial works, and medications and so on. There's like 3 different ones, And since I have MS, it makes me a little bit different, and they could study what it does to people with nervous system diseases, you know. I made a twin size quilt for both my kids totally by hand. Wow. Twin size, that's a lot by hand. I don't like that this keeps doing this. Come on. I have to adjust my thread real quick. All right, so I'm now just sewing my 4-patch together. Your mind has a lot to do with thinking about it. Yes, definitely. My mind has been going overtime though, because I'm suffering from some stomach problems too. And then I just found out yesterday, we got a letter in the mail that my medication that I've been on for my GERD, because I have gastrointestinal reflux disease, the medicine has been taken off the market. It's being banned. So now I have to go back onto one that I was on prior to that, which I didn't see any results with, the omeprazole. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go back on something else. I don't know. So I've been suffering from a little bit of acid problems, but I think it has a lot to do with, the doctor said I have a lot of pressure on my oh my God, in my chest. That I have so much pressure in my chest that that's why I've been getting hiccups a lot lately, which you guys have probably heard me complain about. I've been getting hiccups and just lots of pressure in my chest. Oh, come on. Sometimes I have to pull one of the thread pieces. There we go. And then I straighten back out. Hoping you can even tell what I'm doing here. It's kind of hard. So I do an extra stitch here in the middle when I'm combining. I know you guys have already talked about this whole extra stitch. And it's not that hard to keep a 1/4 inch for those that are new and would like to try hand sewing. After a while, you get used to this, which I have because I've been regular sewing on a sewing machine with that 1/4 inch seam for so long that I found that the 1/4 inch seams on my hand sewing is pretty darn consistent. I mean, every once in a while I veer, but that's not my fault. It's just me not paying attention to my eyesight. Thread conditioner. I don't have any of that kind of stuff, and I'm not going to go bother getting it. I'll just let it tangle and or rethread if I have to. It's no big deal for me. This is just a little to see if I can do it project, honestly. Vocal cord cancer was caused by acid reflux. I was on next. Stopped having symptoms. The doctor said I had to fry the nerves. But mine are messed up too. I have a hard time swallowing from MS and having GERD. So my nerves to my throat are messed up. My mother-in-law's vocal cords were snipped completely. That's why she sounds like she does. She has a really, she can't yell. She has a raspy voice and stuff. Because they snipped hers during a spinal surgery. But yeah, I have to get on new acid medicine now, which kind of sucks, but it's like I'm always switching medicine after medicine after medicine. And now something new to add for the rest of my life, probably. All right, I'm almost done with my wonderful little 4-patch here. All right, so same thing. I'm gonna little tie off this little end right here. I watched videos online about hand sewing, and I think I just rather do it my way than some of the other people's ways because I don't want to get confused or have any problems. So when I have this much left, I actually just run it back the other way. I've been running it back opposite of my stitches the other way real quick through and then cut it off. Some of you probably do this with other things, especially with hand quilting. I've seen them run it through the quilt and just leave it. I'm just kind of running it through and then I snip it at the end so that I'm not wasting all this thread, because I have a ton of it all over my bed. I have been sleeping in thread heaven. So much thread on my bed. Gotta vacuum it. Been trying to clean it up by hand, but obviously it's kind of tough to do and get it all. All right. Almost done running it through. Seriously, like struggling right now. Let's get this almost there. That should be enough. And I just snip it. So I open it up and I use my fingers against it like that, and I pull and tug and pull and tug. Everything's nice and flat, and there we have another little 4-patch. See my little center looks good. So I'm just making tons of these. Okay. Oh, sorry. That was my fault. I had to put it back. Anyway, so that's what I'm making. These 4 patches. Sitting in bed. Feels so weird too, because I'm binge watching all sorts of TVs and TV shows and movies, and yeah, I'm doing like lots of stuff. All right. So then I just put my pins in my blocks so that I don't lose them, because the girls are still coming here and I don't want any of my pins and stuff free. I don't want to have to rebox it all either. So I've just been putting it in my blocks. My needle just goes in like that, and it just all stays together. I can't lose any of it. Roll up my thread, put my stuff away, because that's how simple and easy this is. Pull all the threads off of me. Anyway, yes, throwing you guys around, sorry. What size squares? These are my I think they're 3.5 inch. Yep, these are my 3.5 inch squares. So I've been using my tub of 3.5 inch squares. I was kind of like seriously thinking, you know, if I get used to this, I could speed up and then I can just use this whole tub of 3.5 inch squares and see how big of a quilt I can get out of it. There's a lot in this tub. I'd show you, but that would mean I'd have to take and hold the camera. Actually, I can. It takes 2 seconds. There's that many in there. So it's a pretty big tub full. So there's no way I'm gonna be able to sew all those together by hand. I mean, that's unless I'm stuck in bed for months. What type of thread? Singer, made in the USA. Super strong polyester core, so it's cotton wrapped poly core. Just Singer. I'm trying to use up all those little spools of thread that I have. Of course, that's probably going to take me forever to use up, but that would take forever. Yes, that's what I was assuming, but I thought about it. Trust me, I've thought about it several times now. Let's see. I had a lap some 23 years ago, was put on a CPAP machine because I wake up with my heart racing. That caused my diaphragm to tear and my stomach ended up in my chest, on my chest. Hey, that would be crazy. Yeah, I just have pressure from not being able to breathe, and the doctor said that so much of it is just pushing up with my MS problems too, and the nerve problems because I have gastrophoresis, phoresis or gastrophoresis. I don't say it correctly. The vagus nerve to my stomach has stopped my stomach from working properly. Therefore, my pancreas and liver don't work properly because I don't produce enzymes to digest food and or help my gut absorb what it's supposed to. That's what's led to all these problems. The pressure from that trying to work and this thing in my lung putting pressure because I cannot hardly breathe. When your diaphragm contracts, that's what hiccups are. That's what it's been doing, but it's also causing super horrible acid and just, I don't know, it's funky. But now you guys all know what is wrong. And I'm sorry that I kept it from you, but I wanted answers first. That's why I didn't say anything at first. I wanted to make sure I knew what was wrong, because if it would have been even worse, I don't even know if I would have said anything. I probably would have just dropped off the face of the earth. I know you guys have been there for me and been here with me this whole entire time, but I probably would have had a problem for a while. I would have had to accept things myself. This is a little easier to accept, but everything that I've read about it, it can get really horrible. And since I already have a messed up immune system, it's like those things where I don't want to think the bad, but I have to, like be able to accept if something bad does happen. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah, I say gastrophoresis because that's what, I don't know. I'm pretty sure the doctor says phoresis, gastrophoresis. I wasn't a doctor. I should have been. I could have been. I wanted to be, but I cannot pronounce doctor words. Go figure. All right. See you, Sue. All right, guys. Well, I am going to get off of here. I showed you how and what I've been doing. I told you guys everything. So, I mean, again, I'm doing my best. I'm really, really trying, guys. I really want to just get up and go sew like a normal person and have fun in my room. But no matter what I do, I am getting out of breath. I am exhausted. Like, just exhausted, So, and it makes it really hard because you guys know me. That's me, Speedy Gonzalez. I'm just like pew, 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 bouncing off the walls, and that I cannot do. It's just not happening. Not like that. So, I'm going to do my best to at least not tomorrow. Probably Tuesday, I'll try to get a 25 patch video made. So, and then I'll post it so that way you guys could at least have some content, because I did, like I said, my numbers are going down. Like it was like 48% below last month's videos, like the analytics, the YouTube analytics, like that far down. I pretty horrible. So I definitely need to get some videos made, even if it's just the quick, simple 25 patch block ones. So, all right, guys. Well, everyone's saying good night, prayers, wishes. I love you guys all. I'm so glad that you guys understand. And for those of you who know or have been around somebody who has or have had valley fever, you know what it's like. So you know what I'm going through. It's very painful, the feeling in my chest, and it sucks, but I'm living with it like I do anything else, so I'll be fine. And I'm trying not to stress. Yeah, so don't forget, you guys can go look at old videos if you're new to my channel, subscribe, like, and I'll see you when I see you. I will be here Sundays, whether it's here hand sewing in my bedroom, or if it's from the quilt room doing something small. I have a lot of little projects that we can get, I can do that don't require me to get up much. So the least I get up, the better. The less I get up, the better. So, all right.
thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you later. And thank you for all the love and support. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.